Isn't it amazing to think about the incredible variety of breathtaking experiences we can have through video games these days? What unites these captivating games is their stunning jaw-dropping visuals. It's hard to believe how far video games graphics have come, constantly pushing the envelope of what's possible. When you stop to consider that just 50 years ago we were playing games with the simplest of visuals, it's truly astounding. So how did we progress to the point of achieving such photorealistic graphics and vast immersive environments in modern video games? Hey everyone, in this video we will take a look at the evolution of gaming graphics, from the early days of 8-bit graphics to the stunning, lifelike visuals of today's games. We'll explore how technology has shaped the way we play and how game developers have pushed the boundaries of what's possible. Before we start, please make sure to hit the subscribe button for more exciting videos in the gaming world. Can you believe that the journey of video game visuals began way back in 1947 when Thomas T. Goldsmith patented the first interactive computer game with an electronic display? While it never saw the light of day, it used vector base dots on a cathode ray tube, much like radar displays, to create a simple form of amusement. In 1958, a scientist named William Higginbotham made the first video game that was sold to the public. Little did he know that his creation would go on to inspire the iconic arcade sensation of the 1970s, Pong. Since the early days of Pong's rudimentary 2D graphics, we've seen video game visuals evolve by leaps and bounds, taking us on an incredible adventure through the captivating world of digital artistry. Imagine a time when the vast array of games we enjoy today, from platformers to RPGs, first-person shooters to puzzlers, simply didn't exist. That was the reality in the 1970s, a far cry from the digital wonderland we now take for granted. Back then, due to hardware constraints, early video games like the 1983 Star Wars arcade game used clever tricks with 2D graphics to create the illusion of 3D. Although the visuals were flat and composed of lines with varying colors, games like Star Wars were still groundbreaking for their time. Meanwhile, other popular games like Space Invaders used simple sprites to represent characters on screen, setting the stage for future graphical innovations in home gaming systems. When the Atari 2600, the first home gaming console, made its debut in 1977, its graphics paled in comparison to those of arcade games. Take Pac-Man for example. In arcades, it dazzled players with its vivid colors and detailed characters. But the home version had its wings clipped, featuring a more limited color palette and less fluid animations. Despite these early limitations, the seeds of a gaming revolution had been sown, paving the way for the stunning visuals we enjoy today. Picture the excitement in 1983 when the Nintendo Entertainment System (NES) burst onto the scene, ushering in a new era of 8-bit video game visuals. Despite the constraints of the time, talented developers pushed the boundaries to craft truly striking graphics that captured the hearts of players everywhere. Take Mario for example. The iconic character was made by putting together 4 different sprites in a clear way to make a single playable main character. At the time, this was nothing short of cutting-edge innovation, paving the way for even more astonishing developments in video game graphics that would dazzle gamers for years to come. The dawn of 16-bit brilliance. As the 1990s unfolded, video game graphics were about to make a monumental leap forward. When 16-bit computers came out, they had more colors and sprites with more details, which made people want to play. With the arrival of systems like the Super Nintendo Entertainment System (SNES), video game visuals soared to new heights. As evident as titles like Super Mario Bros., the striking difference between 16-bit games such as Final Fantasy II and Chrono Trigger and their 8-bit predecessors like Final Fantasy and Dragon Warrior was a testament to this remarkable progress. During this period, innovative technologies emerged, revolutionizing the gaming landscape. Take Mode 7. This groundbreaking feature made it possible for developers to make 3D images by manipulating 2D objects, which greatly improved the way Nintendo racing games looked. Not to be outdone, Nintendo found that putting a chip inside a game cartridge made it better at processing graphics. This made it possible for games like Super Mario RPG to look amazing. The 16-bit era marked a dazzling turning point in the history of video game graphics. A symphony of pixels, the 32-bit computing era. As the world of gaming continued to evolve, the spotlight shifted to the mesmerizing realm of 32-bit graphics, leaving their 16-bit counterparts behind. The Sony PlayStation emerged as an early champion of this new era, dazzling gamers with its cutting-edge capabilities. One of the defining features of the PlayStation was its reliance on compact discs for game distribution, which allowed for an abundance of content to be packed into each title. The result? A treasure trove of games boasting impressive 3D graphics that left players spellbound. But even though the PlayStation's graphics were beautiful at the time, they were nothing compared to the mind-blowing graphics of today's consoles. As we look back on the 32-bit era, we can appreciate the crucial role it played in shaping the captivating, immersive gaming experience we enjoy now. Unleashing the power of 64, a new dimension in gaming. Enter the world of the Nintendo 64, a groundbreaking console that turned the gaming industry on its head, ushering in a new era of 3D gaming. In 1996, the famous 3D platform game Super Mario 64 came out and changed the way 3D platform games were made and played for good, thanks to the console's amazing processing power. Yet, even with this surge of technological innovation, creating the immersive 3D graphics we've come to know and love was no simple task. Developers still had to cleverly manipulate sprites, showcasing their artistic prowess to harness the full potential of the Nintendo 64's cutting-edge capabilities. Looking back, it's clear that the Nintendo 64 had a big impact on the future of gaming. It pushed the industry toward more and more stunning visuals, which continue to captivate players all over the world. The dawn of true 3D animation. In 1999, Sega unveiled the Dreamcast, a gaming system that marked a turning point in the evolution of video game visuals. For the first time, 3D images began to resemble the breathtaking graphics we marvel at today. Gone were the days of relying solely on sprites. Thanks to advances in computer hardware, games like Sonic Adventure could now truly immerse players in a 3D world. The Sega Dreamcast had a lot of great games like Crazy Taxi, Shenmue, and Jet Set Radio. These games all had groundbreaking graphics and new ways to play that made gamers fall in love with them. Also, the Dreamcast was a first when it came to online gaming because it was the first console to use an integrated modular modem. As the new millennium began, Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft, three of the biggest names in the gaming industry, followed suit by putting out next-generation consoles like the GameCube, PlayStation 2, and Xbox. The stage was set for an exciting new chapter in the world of video games, full of mesmerizing visuals and experiences that people will never forget. A visual odyssey, gaming graphics in the 21st century. As we journey through the 21st century, we find ourselves marveling at the breathtaking evolution of video game graphics. Today's games boast frame rates and resolutions that far surpass those of their predecessors from just a couple of decades ago, immersing us in lifelike worlds we never could have dreamed of back then. Games like LA Noire, the VR Case Files, for instance, feature near photorealistic visuals and sweeping, dramatic narratives that blur the lines between gaming and cinema, and as we look into the future, we can only imagine the amazing realism of the next generation of games, which will be made by big developers using powerful tools like Frostbite software. The constant march of technology is sure to change games even more. Virtual reality and machine learning offer creators a wide range of options to try out. It may not be long before we find ourselves inhabiting digital worlds so lifelike that they're virtually indistinguishable from reality itself. What do you think? In a future where gaming experiences are indistinguishable from reality, will we need virtual reality vacations just to remind ourselves of what it was like to play games with simple graphics and 8-bit sounds? Let us know in the comment section below. We hope you've enjoyed this fascinating journey through the history of video game graphics, and who knows, in the next 50 to 100 years, we might find ourselves living out experiences akin to those in the film The Matrix, fully immersed in virtual worlds so convincing that we won't even realize we're playing a game. The future is bright, and the possibilities are truly limitless. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.